If I didn't see it with my own 2 eyes, I would have said it was a lie. But I was there that day. I saw how a 16-year-old girl made our proud village chief speechless. And no, she didn't use any charm or witchcraft. Just pure brain. I was about 25 years old back then. Strong, stubborn, and like most of the young men in the village, I feared and respected Chief Okogbe. He was not just our leader, he was also the richest man in Okoja village. He owned the biggest yam barn, had 3 wives, and walked around like he owned the sun. He always wore that long red cap that trailed behind him like royalty, and when he cleared his throat, everybody stopped talking. Nobody talked back to Chief Okogbe. Nobody. Even the elders bowed to him like he was a god. If you annoyed him, he could send his guards to seize your land or ban you from the stream. One time, he made a man kneel under the sun for hours just because the man's goat chewed his cassava leaf. That was the kind of power he had. Now, about the girl, Ada. She lived with her widowed mother at the edge of the village. They were not poor, but not rich either. Her mother sold akara at the market, and Ada helped her every morning before going to fetch firewood. She didn't wear fancy beads, and she didn't talk much. People didn't pay her attention, even though she was smart and carried herself with quiet confidence. But everything changed one dry season, during the yam festival. The chief had just finished his speech at the village square, boasting about how no girl in the village could resist being his wife. That's when he turned and pointed at Ada, who was standing beside her mother's akara table. "She will be my next wife," he said, loud enough for even the chickens to hear. There was a heavy silence. People looked at one another, unsure whether to cheer or cough. Ada looked confused. Her mother's face went pale. The girl was only 16. The chief was old enough to be her grandfather. Still, the next day, his guards came to Ada's compound with palm wine, 2 goats, and kola nuts. That's how marriages were arranged in our place. No questions asked. Her father had died some years ago. Her mother was just a trader, and the family had no real power or support. They were expected to keep quiet, accept the offer, and prepare for the wedding. But Ada was not like the rest of us. The whole village was talking about it. Some pitied her. Some said she was lucky. At least she won't suffer again, they whispered. She will eat meat every day. But others, especially women, shook their heads. They knew what it meant to marry a man like Okogbe. It meant silence. It meant being controlled. It meant losing your voice. Then, the unbelievable happened. The day before the wedding, Ada walked up to the chief's compound alone. I was sitting near the palm tree beside the palace gate, chewing sugarcane. I saw her enter with nothing but a small raffia basket in her hand. She knelt and greeted the chief. "My chief," she said, "I am honored. But before I become your wife, I must pass a test." The chief laughed. "What kind of test? Are you a man to give me tasks?" "No, my chief," she said, still kneeling. "But I am still young. I want to prove I am wise enough to join your royal house. I want to bring you honor." The chief nodded, enjoying the praise. "Speak. Let me hear this test." She brought the basket forward. It was light, handmade, and had small holes between the weavings, like all raffia baskets do. She said, "If you can fill this basket with water from the stream without it leaking, I will marry you happily tomorrow." There was silence. Then laughter. First from the guards, then from the wives, and finally from the chief himself. He thought she was joking. But Ada didn't laugh. She placed the basket gently at his feet, stood up, greeted him again, and walked out of the compound without looking back. By evening, the entire village had heard about it. People gathered in groups, shaking their heads, laughing, gossiping. Some said she was foolish. Others called her brave. Some elders even said she was disrespectful. But deep down, we all wanted to see what the chief would do. The next morning, the chief, red with pride, called some of his men to follow him to the stream. He told them he would show them that no small girl could disgrace him. He tried. He dipped the basket in water. It leaked. He tried covering it with banana leaves. Still leaked. He tried plastering the holes with thick mud. The water still poured out. He even sent one of the guards to bring palm oil. Don't ask me why. It didn't work either. By afternoon, the sun was hot, and the chief's red cap had started to fall sideways. He was sweating. Angry. He returned to his palace and sat down, quiet. Then he sent for Ada. She came, calm as ever. You think you're smarter than your elders? He asked. No, my chief, she said softly. I just wanted to see if you could solve a simple girl's puzzle. He looked at her. And something changed in his face. Not anger. Not shame. Just realization. He waved his hand. Go. You are free. Let no one say I forced any woman to be mine. I have changed my mind. That was all. But everyone knew Ada had won. She didn't insult him. She didn't fight him. She didn't run. She just used sense. She later left the village and went to the city. I heard she became a teacher or something. Maybe even a principal. But whenever I see a girl walking with a raffia basket on her head, I remember Ada. The girl who made the mighty Chief Okogbe carry water and fail.